You're watching News 10 at 6, Northern California's Emmy Award-winning newscast.
Well, most of us have probably seen it hundreds of times along I-5 north of downtown. The Sacramento Locomotive Works. It's been a landmark since the 1860s, but unless you worked there, you couldn't get in. It was off limits to the public. Well, that's about to change as News 10's Dan Adams takes us inside the Locomotive Works, along with a retired Southern Pacific railman.
Enough to cry. You're going to bring tears to your eyes.
It is an emotional day for Harry Smitty Smith.
Yeah, I look at this stuff, I get a cold chill.
Much of his life was spent here as a mechanic at the now shuttered Sacramento Locomotive Works.
This is the first time you've been in here since it shut down then, huh?
Since the 70s, yeah.
What's it like coming back?
It's scary, because this was a very, very active place, full of people, running back and forth, and a lot of noise, the overhead crane running, very, very noisy.
Steam locomotives, then diesel locomotives. 300 are built here at the largest industrial complex west of the Mississippi.
When I first went to work in the railroad, and the same here, you know what they get? The first tool they give an apprentice? A 10-pound sledgehammer. Because that's what it took to take these things apart.
The cavernous building they call the cathedral has changed little.
You got it there, Smitty?
Yeah, got it. I'm getting old. I used to run up and down those things.
The pit where Smitty sweated it out hours a day.
It's a lighter. And when you have a acetylene gas torch, boy, that'll go whoof.
Lighter and torch in hand, fixing the underside of steam locomotives.
I keep looking for signs that I know in here. And you go down the pit and all those pieces down there, I recognize a lot of them down in there.
What he doesn't physically find here, Smitty can feel.
I got a feeling of men who's dead, people who taught me my trade, and these are all here. You don't see them, I do.
Thousands and thousands of men and women who kept the wheels rolling on the rails.
It's a bygone era. I never thought I'd ever be talking about a bygone era, but this is a bygone era.
In Sacramento, Dan Adams, News 10.
And Smitty, thank you for a wonderful tour. Great job. You're not getting old either, by the way. The State Rail Museum is planning a $25 million restoration of the old Sacramento Locomotive Works. It will be called the Railroad Technology Museum. And here you see some of the artist renderings of what it will look like once it's completed, but it's going to take about 7 or 8 years. Right now at the Railroad Museum, there's a new display honoring the Sacramento Locomotive Works.